Well, now to New York, where the United Nations is keeping a close eye on Gaza and Ukraine. For more now, we're joined live from New York by the Voice of America UN correspondent Margaret Besheer. Hello, Margaret.
Hi, Vincent.
Yes, a full plate you got there. Let's start with a situation between the Palestinians and the Israelis. We saw that the ambassador of Palestine, Riyad Mansour, very disappointed, wanted to see the UN Security Council, come up with a kind of a resolution to condemn the situation there. It didn't happen. What transpired?
Well, we had a meeting very late on Sunday night, a very rare occurrence in New York at the UN. It went on into the wee hours Monday on Gaza. They discussed the situation. They came up with some elements to the press, which is basically the lowest form of comment from the council, unfortunately. And I think he was disappointed with that. But they did call for an immediate cessation of hostilities. So in other words, a ceasefire. And, they're concerned about the mounting civilian casualties on both sides. But the Secretary General's in the region, and he's really pressing the effort now to try and reach a ceasefire and a return to negotiations.
And so at the moment, it looks like both sides are holding their guns.
Yes, definitely. Yesterday was the deadliest day in this two-week conflict so far. Many people killed on both sides, with Israeli soldiers killed yesterday, many Palestinian civilians, as you mentioned in the opening. The UN said today that about 100,000 Palestinians are sheltering at UN facilities in Gaza because, the UN has its refugee agency, UNRWA, which helps the Palestinian refugees. They've been there for 60 years. And so many people are sheltering at their facilities and their schools. They're using them as temporary refuges. So it's very bad. The Secretary General arrived in Cairo just a couple of hours ago. He will meet today with the foreign minister. In fact, he's probably meeting with him right now. And he will probably meet with the Arab League Secretary General a bit later today and possibly Secretary Kerry tonight. Tomorrow, he's supposed to meet with Egyptian President Sisi. And the spokesman for the Secretary General says that Mr. Bond supports Egyptian leadership in trying to reach a ceasefire agreement in Gaza. But he says it must go further. It must not just be a temporary cessation of hostilities. We have to return to the negotiating table and find a permanent peace.
Now, very quickly on the Ukrainian situation, there was to be a vote on a resolution today. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we're expecting that in a couple of hours at 3 p.m. New York time. The foreign minister of Australia is here. Australia, as you mentioned in the package, lost several citizens in the plane crash over Ukraine. They have drafted a resolution calling for a thorough, full, and independent investigation into what happened, the events surrounding Flight MH17. They have asked for access for the investigators, the international investigators, because the Russian-backed separatist rebels have been hindering their access to the site. The bodies are still there. The wreckage is still there. So this resolution is going to ask for that. The Dutch foreign minister has arrived in New York. He will be here for the vote. The Luxembourg foreign minister is here. So there's a big international high-level push to see a resolution adopted calling for unfettered access to this crash site and for the world to find out what really transpired.
As always, thank you for your excellent reporting, Margaret.
Thank you, Vincent.
That's VOA's UN correspondent Margaret Besheer reporting live from New York.